Make sure to be a member on the channel, link is in the description. Hello guys, once again it's Matt, and today we have another week of videos. So we are going to continue the reviews kind of and showing a little bit of the new aircraft added to the Danger Zone patch. And yeah, yesterday I kind of took a day off, and let's continue. So today we're going to take a look on the English Electric Lightning F.53 from the Royal Saudi Air Force. I think it's called like that, yeah, RSAF, so I think it's that. So basically it's an export variant of the normal electric lighting that we already have in game. So it doesn't change anything on the performance of the aircraft, and it is even the same BR. So expect to be kind of the middle ground between being OP and being kind of just bad, sort of, it really depends on the BR that you face. Normally I'm facing a lot of down tiers, so you face stuff like MiG-15s, Sabres and stuff like that, which is extremely OP if you ask me. I played a couple of matches and I was already like getting aces, like almost one match you got an ace, the other match you got 4 kills, the other one you got 3 kills, the other one you got an ace again. So basically it is kind of OP, it is, especially with this matchmaking and this BR right now. So I mean 9.3, man. Of course it is an interceptor, it's not made for turn fighting, so use it as kind of a boom zoomer kind of thing, it has, I mean, a lot of people don't like these, but it has two red tops, which are for me the best missile out there in this BR. It really is something great, it's way better than the AIM-9B and the R3S, and it just kind of loses for the AIM-9B Ds and Gs and stuff like that you face sometimes with the Harriers. But in general, you will be good to go. The missile is way better than the AIM-9E even, I think. It turns really well, and it has very large amount of explosive mass and stuff like that. You still have the two Aiden cannons, which can be a little frustrating to use, especially, I don't know why, but this aircraft is kind of hard to hit targets sometimes. Maybe it's the rudder. There's something off about a feeling that I have with this aircraft, but it's still very good. It is 30mm, and as you see, take a look at this kill. 1.8 kilometer shot, cold target, and he tries to evade as much as he can, and the missile still got him. So yeah, it is a very short range missile, have that in mind, but it is because of its large size and short burn time. But it's still a very capable missile. As I was saying, the cannons are sometimes complicated, but they're still Aidens, you can still use them. They have a short range, short muzzle velocity, low muzzle velocity, and a low rate of fire, and kind of low ammo, but not really, because the low rate of fire makes it up for it. But yeah, and it has the two Avon engines, which are amazing, it has two skins, so it has one normal skin and one desert skin that I'm putting on the screen right now. And it is a very capable aircraft. As I said, use it as a boom and zoom aircraft and you will be safe. Try not to dogfight too much, because basically almost every aircraft that you face will be able to outturn you. So bear that in mind. You are faster than a F4C, for example, in acceleration and stuff. So you just need to just be chill about it and just boom and zoom, climb. Altitude is a very good thing in this aircraft. Try to climb to 7,000 feet, attack people from the up above, so yeah, and it is I don't have too much to say on it. I have a video on the lightning if you want to take a look also, because it is just the same lighting that we already have. The difference is on the loadouts. I'm going to show on the next battle a little bit of the other loadouts. But in general, first of all, I think it's very worth it. It's an aircraft. I mean, it depends on the price, of course. I'm not saying that a $60 pack is worth it in War Thunder. I'm not saying that it's not or that it is, you know. You have to bear that in mind in the country that you are and in monetary position that you are. I just think as an aircraft perspective, you know, I think it is one of the best premium aircraft that you can have, you know. The low BR and just the amount of things that you can do in this aircraft are pretty good. And I think it's worth it. It really is. I think it's not. I mean, I will make videos on the Ariete and the Mirage Milan. You know, the Dassault Milan, upcoming tomorrow. But it's just the match ended up before I died there. So yeah, and it's just one of those things, you know. It's an aircraft that is already in game. It's kind of a copy paste, but it is still worth it. And I think I will have to wait to see which of the new premiums are the best. But it is very capable, and I think it's very much worth it. You know, I think it's an aircraft that you just have to be careful with some stuff. You know, as I said, it is a heavy aircraft. You know, it has 2 engines and stuff. But it's still pretty good. Here we are using the mixed loadout from below, you know, 2 A10s there. Take a look on the missile. Pretty good missile. The guy didn't even realize I was behind him. And then the other A10 didn't realize it also. So 2 kills at the start of the match. Pretty good. You know, so yeah. 2 Mark 83s, of course, are the best option for base bombing, you know, and you can take these rocket pods on top of the wings, which are pretty weird, and it kind of affects a lot of the performance of the aircraft. But to be honest, they're pretty cool to have that, you know. I don't think you will be using these too much. I think the bombs are alright to use, you know. You can take a lot of points at the beginning of the match, you know, with the bombs. But with these rockets, they're kind of, I mean, it's an interceptor, you know. Try to use as a fighter. It's way better as a fighter than an attacker. It doesn't have CCIP or CCRP. So yeah, it's not the greatest thing ever as an attacker, but it doesn't have to be, you know. It's not meant to be a good attacker. It's just to have these type of ammunitions because apparently the Saudis actually asked for them. So yeah, I really wish we had a Kuwaitian skin as well, because I think the Kuwaitian Air Force actually used this back in the day. But yeah, a pretty interesting aircraft, and I think it's just, as I said, a very well-known aircraft, and there's not much to say about it, just that it's worth it, you know. I think it's worth it. I think you should get it if you want to fly something very fast and very powerful on the British tech tree. Here we have kind of a bug, as you're going to see. When I fired the missile, a rocket was fired together with that and basically made my missile go AWOL, you know. So yeah, I don't know what happened there. One click and it fired one missile that I had and the rocket as well, which was weird. It changed it for the rocket and fired the rocket, which was pretty weird. But as you see, yeah, even in a up tier, this is kind of a middle ground between an up tier. It has some F4Cs and stuff like that. And as you're going to see, yeah, for example, I think the main aircraft that you are going to face that it's dangerous are the MiG-25, the 21s, the 25s, the MiG-21s, MFs and stuff like that, which are pretty dangerous to you because they cannot out accelerate you, but they have a better maximum speed than you, I think. And it just makes it so that it can reach you. Another aircraft that is very dangerous, of course, is the F5, because the damage model of that thing is kind of weird, and in the flight model as well, it can reach very large amounts of G-forces, so don't try to dogfight F5s, you know. And another thing, be careful with the climbing side of things that I said before, because there are a lot of F4Cs that you face, so you can get destroyed by the sparrows and stuff like that. Also, aircraft that you have to be careful is all the aircraft that have really good missiles, you know, like the A-10A, for example, has the 9Ls, which can be problematic to you since you don't turn very well sometimes and you don't have flares and stuff. The M9Ls can be very OP against you, so be careful with the A10s. Of course, head-ons in general, try to be careful with head-ons. Don't, it's not worth it. Just a couple of shots and you turn away, because basically more than 90% of the guns that you're going to face in a head-on, they have a very high muzzle velocity compared to you, you know, and much higher rate of fires, which makes it so that you are kind of handicapped, you know, in the sense of the head-on. You know, your guns are pretty weird, but it doesn't mean that they have a low, you know, low damage. You know, as you're going to see, I'm going to kill that F4 there. I have 32 rounds, and as you're going to see, I'm going to shoot basically 20 rounds. Yeah, and it's just destroyed. You know, so just a little tap on the guns, and I just killed the F4 very easily. You know, if you have problems with the guns, try not to fire from far away. It helps a lot if you fire from like less than 500 meters. Get really close to the target, especially at small targets like this F5. This was a bad example, for example. I just fired because I thought it was a good shot, but it wasn't, because it's such a small target. It's not an F4, for example, so it becomes really difficult to hit. We actually rearmed there and got more fuel, and together with my friend there, we needed to hunt down the F5C. So yeah, but first I had to do something. I had to do the bombing that I wanted to record a little bit of the ground striking capabilities of this aircraft. And yeah, I think it's effective. You know, the rockets are pretty good and pretty they're very reliable weapons actually to ground strike. The bombs, of course, I forgot to drop both of them. So remember that if you are using the Mark 83s or any bomb on the Lightning, they drop you know, in a singular manner. So you have to click twice or use the two method on the left side. So yeah, as you see, I dropped the bomb, one base destroyed, and we're going to ground pound a little bit while the F5 is actually just rearming and stuff. And as you're going to see, I can kill a lot of tanks with it. I missed a lot of rockets, you know. So if you are careful and you can hit it, I think it's a very good way to actually kill targets. It's just that this aircraft is better at you know, intercepting targets and stuff like that. Yeah, that was a bad shot. So that it makes it, it's just better to kill targets, you know, and it's just easier kind of, because if you're trying to just destroy ground targets, I think you're just going to lose a lot of, you know, possible points that you can get. So even though I know if you are new to War Thunder, or if you are new to a top tier match or a high tier match, jet match, you are inclinated to actually use the rockets and bombs to actually get points for free. I know that you get there, but try to use just the bombs, deploy them on the start of the match, okay? And then you go hunting for targets, because this is a very capable aircraft for that, and I think it's just a way better way to actually get points and money. As I said, I know you know, each player has its own abilities and stuff like that, but it is a very, very easy aircraft to fly, you know. So yeah, and this is the last guy. As you see, as I said, I think it's worth it. I think it's a very, very good aircraft, but you have to think always on the monetary side of things. But if you have the money and stuff, and a lot of people do the events to get money, so you're not actually spending money, you're just spending time. I think it's really worth it if you want to fast grind the UK nation, the British, because it is a very, very effective aircraft. I think it's like a 9 out of 10, you know. Very low BR, very fast speed, Mach 2 capable, ground capabilities, air-to-ground capabilities, very good missiles for the BR. As you see, look at the amount of turn that the missile does, you know. So yeah, hope you enjoyed, and I see you guys on the next one. Bye guys, subscribe.